Everybody, welcome back to the Bohorror Tales podcast. So today we have not only some returning guests, we have a special guest. So I'm going to let the special guest introduce himself first. We got Yaro Goblin over here, everybody.
Hey y'all.
Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you. It's a
Now,
pleasure to be
everybody,
here.
I clapped without my hands, if you know what I mean.
I'm actually being forced to be here, but
everybody might know him as the creator of the most famous Instagram web series, Morally Omnipotent. So
thank you for the plug.
Almost as famous as Moonpool.
Yeah, not quite there yet, but pretty famous. They've got about 10 episodes out now.
No, that's not good.
Check it out on Morally Omnipotent, the series, or whatever the fuck the Instagram's called.
Yaro, say hi.
I said hi.
Okay. I don't like people from Indiana anyway.
Okay, and then the two other hosts, we have Dallas.
Yeah, same old boring Dallas.
And then we got Kelin Davis.
Yay.
Woo! Another fan favorite.
Let's give a round of applause.
God, I love you, Kelin. I want to have your kids, Kelin.
Thank you.
But Derek, what's our topic today, huh? What is it?
Everybody, it's a pretty crazy topic today. We're gonna feed. Let's just call him Ego, and we're going to talk about the evolution and development of. You guessed it by the title. 4 minutes in, the Sinverse.
Derek, your fans are finally going to know all the shit I do behind the scenes.
He doesn't do anything.
Right.
We want to be more inclusive in it, though.
Right. Okay, so I want to be honest, y'all. I'm completely swinging in the dark here. I don't even know where the fuck to start with this podcast.
Well, okay, first of all, let's talk about what we were talking about beforehand. Kelin, name the main characters of Roswell and Salem.
Oh, okay. So Josh, Layton, Nisa, and then for sorry for profanity.
Who's the slutty boy?
The slutty boy.
Yeah.
Layton, of course.
Yes, and then the three main characters of Salem, please.
It is Audrey, Julian, and damn, it just starts with a C.
Buck Teeth.
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting his name, but I love him.
Nobody cares about him anyway. So.
Girl, it's Colin.
Colin.
And anyways, the Sinverse, just to anyone who doesn't know what it is, who's watching yet is no one, is Derek's comic that he posts on Instagram, and he's been working on it since 2018.
Okay, hold on. I just want to say this for the matter of fact. Who the fuck would be watching who doesn't know what the fuck that is? I'm the only one that promotes this shit.
Our future fans, whenever we get viral.
Nobody's...
Yeah.
Oh, God. Nobody go back and watch that one episode where I made fun of 9/11.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was still really funny. It's still really, really funny. But it's a little in poor taste because it is September.
But, okay, the reason we have Yaro here for this episode, even though he's not a part
should
of
we
Boho,
say why I'm here?
Yeah, so Yaro and I go way back.
I mean, not as far back as me and you, but...
It was the summer of 1956.
Right.
So, back in 2018, this was after, so Roswell had already been attempted once and it didn't go well. So
wait. I feel like we should get into this after you tell how you even started the idea of Roswell.
Well, I'm getting into this part because this is where Yaro comes in.
Yes, storyboarder.
So, anyway, great. You just spoiled it for fucking everybody.
Girl, a spoiler.
Sorry, everybody. Dallas just spoiled who the fuck Yaro Goblin is. So, he was a storyboarder on the original Roswell.
I just know the viewers were on the edge of their seat right there. My bad.
What a fucking asshole.
Okay, watch the language. This is a PG YouTube channel.
Hey, Siri.
I mean, if we want to get
to block this motherfucker.
Okay. What were you going to say, Yaro?
I was going to say, if we want to get the ad revenue, then we'll have to keep it...
we'll have to add a few bleeps.
Yeah.
let's just say I mark every episode as not for children.
Okay, well that makes sense. But yeah, Derek, what gave you the idea to start out your vast Sinverse series that began with the Alien series Roswell?
Give me a minute.
Let me know.
I'm doing something.
Girl, during the podcast?
Sorry, I'm really hungry, so I'm getting corn dogs and mac and cheese.
Okay, I'll explain it. I asked Derek to watch a YouTube channel called Let Me Know because their videos were really good, and they did a video on like
Okay,
UFOs.
stop mansplaining my backstory. I'm back in it now.
Girl, I was there.
Well, you weren't there.
Like, you're supposed to do your part.
Okay, so basically, I found this YouTuber from no specific person. His name is Lemino. Let me know, just let me know. And so he's really cut.
So cut.
So he does a bunch of videos, which, by the way, if you haven't seen him, I would recommend him. His quality, so perfect. He's one of the very rare YouTubers that does quality over quantity. He uploads every few months, and he does like a bunch of stuff on paranormal. But that leads me to the point that he had done an episode on aliens, specifically. A lot of big portion of the episode of his video was on the incident in Roswell. And I was like, okay. So I took what I learned from that video along with other research, and I compiled together a series. And at first it was set in the 40s. It was set in 1947, I think. And Josh was... If you don't know, the guy who owned the farm or the land that the quote unquote UFO... What the fuck? Okay, anyway, so the guy who owned the land that the quote unquote UFO landed in, his name is Mac Brazel, or Brazel, but I just say Brazel. And Josh was technically supposed to be him. So it was going to have him. Leighton and Nisa were not in it at this point. It was just Josh. And it was just going to follow him. He was going to be about 21 at this point instead of like 15. And it was going to follow him as he discovered like alien ships in the sand and like pyramids. So Isis wasn't even a character at this point. There was a design for an alien that kind of later on developed into Isis, but there was never an idea of some big pharaoh or queen or any of that at this time. And if you go look on the account Dare Bear, you can find a sketch of this of Josh with yellow lighting. It's a side profile of him looking up at the spaceship. You can't see the spaceship. And it's like bright yellow lighting. And that was like the very first concepts for Roswell.
And so like the Sinverse itself. It was like the beginning of everything.
Yeah, the Sinverse at this point was only Roswell. When I started developing Roswell more, that's when I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to do witches after this. And I want to do this and that. And so it kind of began expanding more and more as time went on.
And eventually Josh, instead of being the guy, he became the guy's grandson.
Yeah, so I realized pretty quickly that I don't give a damn about old people.
Same.
And by that, I mean like old-timey shit. It's hard to write for someone in an era that you have never existed in. So I bumped it up to the modern day and age, 2019 at the time. And then I gave him 2 friends based off of people that I knew in high school that I was friends with. And I made this little trio. And the reason that I did 3 people is because 3 is my favorite number. And so I was like, oh, it works. Like
very
3
good
people.
Reasoning.
Yeah, so 3 people. And I'd also kind of made sense because 2 people is like, boring. And then 4 people is like, bitch, I don't want to draw this many people. So 3 people is like the perfect mark, and then that's why I did 3 series and all of that. So yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And then you were gonna do the version where they were like videos on Instagram, and this was before they were even sins, right?
Yeah, so there's actually
The
there's
Roswell
actually
pilot.
yeah, the Roswell pilot's still on YouTube, everybody. It's not on this account. It's on my private one. Pretty sure if you just look up my name on YouTube, it'll come up. I have like a purple D as a profile picture.
It's
Like,
where the iconic line July 8th came
shut the
from.
fuck up.
From the Josh voice actor.
Okay, so yeah, it's a really shitty pilot. Me and Mad stayed up for like fucking 5 hours editing that. And I know you're probably thinking 5 hours for like 4 minutes, crazy, right? Yeah, believe me, it was a shit show. So yeah, it was pretty bonkers and it was really terrible. And it makes me really cringe, but everybody loves to say July 8th all the time just because they like cramming my fucking wound with a cigarette. So
And then
yeah.
you kind of gave up on it for a little bit, right? For like a month or two.
Oh, I wouldn't say that now. Well,
You ended up redesigning them.
yeah, so I ended up redesigning them completely because the old designs were pretty rubbish. And that's when I did a casting call, not for that kind of movie, but for Roswell storyboarders. Because I had experience with storyboarding stuff in the past with the fixed comic, which was just a bunch of Steven Universe stuff. And I was like, well, storyboarders have always kind of helped. So I did a casting call, and Yaro messaged me. This was my first time ever talking to Yaro. And he sent me pictures of Josh, Leighton, Nisa, and they all looked so good. The anatomy was
Yaro's
so
very good at
amazing.
drawing.
Yeah, the expressions, the anatomy, they blew me away. And at this time, Yaro was better at drawing than me at the time. No, not anymore, of course, but at the time, he wasn't mid.
Yaro's just accepting defeat.
Yaro, you have nothing to add on this right now? Okay, I guess he's dead.
Yaro! What the heck?
He's dead, I guess.
Girl, Kelin, you still here, Kelin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, baby.
Can y'all hear me?
Wait, yeah.
Yaro, where the hell did you go?
I've been talking this whole time and it didn't get my. Oh my god.
This
Anyway,
whole time,
what did you talk about?
I thought y'all were like ignoring me. I was like, okay, so I guess I'm not gonna get a word in this entire time.
No, Yaro, we love you.
Somebody pushing it.
But yeah, let's just say it all went downhill from there in terms of me and Dare Bear's friendship. But
what have you been saying this whole time?
basically just that I carried the Roswell series.
Okay, go back on.
You did do some of the best boards.
Okay, so yeah, let
Yeah.
me say this. Nearly the whole first episode was boarded by Yaro because I loved his board so much. So I pretty much just stole all of his drawings.
But Derek, you didn't want to do Roswell for a bit until, do you remember our crop circle talk where we talked while I built the giant crop circle in Minecraft?
Let's just keep it to me, honey. I'm the main character in this podcast.
Okay.
Now sitting here trying to get his.
Well, you told me that like Nisa got pregnant from Leighton and all this shit, and I was like, girl, you have to like keep doing this.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
And then you did.
You keep interrupting my fucking story about Yaro, poor thing.
Interrupting, girl. What's the point of me being here?
It's not. It's just shut the fuck up!
I'm the audience.
So, anyway, Yaro, do you remember that other storyboarder that was with us at the time?
I think I remember who you're talking about.
The poor devil. I assigned him pages, but I never used them, unfortunately. Yaro and me kind of talked on the low key. So if you're watching now, I'm so sorry, but I'm about to bash the fuck out of you.
We mean it with love.
The boards were just they were god awful. They were really, really terrible. Nisa didn't have a nose half the time. It was just wow.
Girl, it's a good thing I didn't try and board back then. That would have been a fucking dumpster fire.
So it was basically up to me and Yaro. And by that, I mean Yaro doing a bunch of boards and then me just doing like the other half.
Mhm.
Yaro, I don't need the fucking attitude. So then, after that, we were like, oh my God, Roswell is a huge hit. Which, to be fair, it was blowing up like crazy. I was like one
It
of the most
was, yeah.
popular girlies at the time. I did episodes like an episode an entire day. It took me one day to make a whole episode. Of course, now it takes me a fucking month to do that shit. But
Because there's so much higher quality.
yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, episodes were booming, and I was like, "Listen up, Yarrow Goblin. You want to come with me on this new thing named Salem?" He was like, "Oh, I guess so." So that's where me and
I
Yarrow started.
mean, it was more like I said, I don't really want to. And he said, you're going to do this.
And Derek said, also, you need to start drawing them less fat.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Well, everybody likes to draw fucking Audrey like the bitch weighs like 800 pounds.
Okay. But Derek, you wanted to continue the story using the fetus that ISIS captured from Nisa.
Yeah,
right?
So basically, it was kind of like one of those ideas where it just becomes like you're bored of it, and I kind of have a knack dropping things until I tell somebody about it, and then I'm like, never mind, I want to do this again. So that's kind of why the podcast is back.
It's a trend.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trend. That's why that Roswell Halloween shit is never coming out. I'm still working on it, but who knows how fucking long that's gonna take. I'm bored of Salem and Minecraft. I need a new hyperfixation. But anyway,
Okay. But at this point, I wasn't even a storyboarder. I was still just a fan, and you didn't tell me anything so that you could hear my reactions for the episodes.
That's something that's always been super important is seeing people's reactions. So if you're watching this and you're a loyal follower of Salem, but you don't comment, you're a fucking bitch. So you better comment your reactions, and you better like those posts and not just save them. Because I know some of you motherfuckers are sitting here and you don't even follow me and you're just listening in spite. Well, guess what? You're giving me a view, you motherfucker. That's like 1 cent for me.
We love all the fans. Thank you.
Bohorror Tales, 100 years, Morty.
Okay.
We're going to have 100 seasons, Morty. No. So
but start talking about like the increase in like quality.
If you keep interrupting my joke, Styles, I'm going to pull up this damn Kitchen Nightmares sound effect. So, Kelin, I want to ask you, what was it like experiencing the recent Salem finale?
Bravo.
Okay, very good talk.
Kelin!
That motherfucker dead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Man, I'm dead.
Oh, okay. I figured it out. Like, I figured out why it does that. I feel like when your phone cuts off, it's just, whatever. But yeah, I like the recent one. It's really good, but, I'm really waiting for, more. I can't really speak much about it because I don't want to spoil it for...
Kelin, do you have any memories from the Roswell days?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you my favorite episode.
Okay, tell us.
My favorite Roswell episode was literally the episode when they, when the fusion, because I don't know, I just liked the concept of fusion, and I didn't think a lot of people expect that, but not even just the fusion, like because they fused together. No, it's the way how Derek did it. Like he explained it in a way that was cool. Like their like molecules can't really stay stable on the planet, and I find that like cool because no one ever did fusion in a way of your body having to merge into something different. The way how he explained it, the concept of it was really cool,
Beryllium on the planet makes things be able to mix because that's how the aliens on the planet survive.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Yara? What was your favorite Roswell episode to work on?
Girl, this is too delayed. What the hell?
Yara, you're being a little, let's just say, sus.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
How are you?
Okay.
I want to know how y'all are muting because I don't even have a mute option on here.
Yeah, me
No,
neither.
it's not a mute. It's like when your phone cuts off. It
Yeah,
basically.
when your phone like turns off after a while, for some
Mm.
reason it mutes you.
Leave it on.
Well, keep that shit on, you lazy pieces of shit.
You can't. Your phone has
Alright.
a time off.
I've kept mine on just fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, Yara, what was your favorite Roswell memory from working on it?
Well, that's not what my
Mm.
That
question was.
sigh.
But,
That
yeah.
sigh.
It was like,
Yeah,
oh,
when
everything
y'all
but
couldn't hear me,
Bedman's.
I was saying that I really didn't enjoy any of it.
Yara's like, this is like recalling like war. Like I beat
You're,
from.
are you getting PTSD from when I made you draw Josh running? Because I didn't want to.
We don't talk about that.
We gonna talk about this ratio.
There's really, I mean,
Let me
all of
plug
it
in my
was
fucking
just.
Apple Pencil while we talk about this.
Hmm?
Go ahead, Yarrow. Sorry for interrupting.
You're asking about my like a favorite memory of working on
Well,
Roswell?
I
Yeah,
said
kind of like a favorite
like
episode.
what was your favorite episode to work on or whatever? You know, Yarrow, it must have been somewhat good to see people reacting to something you were involved in with zero credit
Well,
whatsoever.
yeah, I was gonna say that would have been nice if I ever got credit ever
Okay, that's
for
not
anything.
true.
It
That
is
was
true. You never. Okay, you didn't credit me until Salem, like mid finale.
no, that's not
I
true.
remember
Okay,
Derek the thank you
after
after
yeah,
Roswell ended, and then he deleted it.
Right,
okay,
right.
listen, everybody, listen. After every season, I did a huge thank you post and I tagged everybody. Now, if it
And
was
then he deleted.
archived the day later, it
Right.
may or may not be true.
Yeah, and back then
But
I really knew like that was the ethical thing to do.
let's just say I was a bit of an evil character back then. So yeah,
We
but
don't talk about 2018 there, Bear.
I mean, I do it for every other episode now. Of course, you motherfuckers never help. But uh, yeah, yeah. So anyway,
Well,
yeah,
Salem started going quality.
yeah. Salem improved in quality because it looked like shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Whoa.
ask you a question about that. Not to say that it looked like shit, but like I wanted to ask you a question. Like, what is your favorite part about redesigning each character and giving them their own unique like texture and their unique like feature? What's
What
like
was
your
my
favorite part?
what was my favorite part of it?
Mm-hmm.
Getting over with it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Being
feel like it's really satisfying to see you redesign characters after you had.
yeah. I find that cool too because like you see them in like a different light that you wouldn't usually see them in. It's kind of like a video game character. Like when you see them go from an old pixelated thing
like
to
Laura
not
Croft.
yeah to like yeah like that's cool.
It never
Okay,
seemed like you were changing or replacing old characters. It always felt like you were growing them.
Yeah,
well, the old designs they all have the same body type, and the way that I learned more about character design, silhouetting, all of that. Yarrow's really good at silhouettes, by the way. Everybody, his characters are really recognizable. One of them looks like a diaper, and the other one looks like a lizard.
Oh.
Talking about Monella, of course, but you can't always. So here's my advice to artists out there: if you're trying to make a good character design, who giggled?
Me, because you stopped halfway through your sentence of insulting Yarrow and then went back to the topic.
Okay. Anyway, before I was so rudely commented on, here's a little advice from the best artist in this chat. Uh, um, to make a good character design, that needs a good silhouette. Okay, so you need something cunty, you need something cool, you need something ravishing, you need something delighting. But here's one rule that I never follow: the rule of colors. I never follow the rule of colors where people turn it black and white and they make sure that it's different tones. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I do colors really well if I do it without rules. I don't really care if something is the same shade or not. I match colors and I like if I see a shirt, I'll usually make the shirt the same color as the socks or the shoes because it ties the character design in. But I'm not gonna turn that shit to black and white and see the different tones. I'm not one of those fucking motherfuckers from Cal Arts that does that shit and complains about it. Because I would rather have more fun doing things like that than following rules. So that's my one thing. Yes, everyone's going to tell you a good character design needs a good silhouette. However, I think the most important rule is to have fun with it. Otherwise, you're not going to want to do it.
Yeah.
Just like my good friend Yaro Goblin and his 10
Yeah, I was
episode
gonna say.
series.
I wish I heard that while I was working on this series.
Well, can I say something to add to it?
Sure, Keelan, tell us.
Like when you're saying that, like I believe it because like when you're making a character, you're not making a character just to be based off of something that, oh, it has to look this way, it has to have this feature, it has to have that feature. You want to make it like unique to you and your personality because it makes the character stand out. Like that's why you see so many characters. Like let's just like switch the genre. Like let's just say anime. Like they all look different. They have something unique to the show that ties in to the character.
I'm going to be honest. I think anime is actually one of the worst character design portions. That a lot of animes, they kind of have very similar designs, like Sailor Moon.
Yeah. I feel like they have to go with a similar concept amongst anime because they know it sells, and that's what's like.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
But
But
speaking
you
of
get
like,
those shows with unique styles here and there,
Yeah.
true. But speaking of like characters and how Derek relates to them, they're all the sins because Derek, you just are so filled with sin.
Sick.
Mhm.
But actually,
I
tell
just
us like
wanna-
how you use that to write them.
So basically, I was inspired by the idea of Dallas being sinful and indulgent to minors.
Right.
He's kind of like the John Wayne Gacy of Boho, honestly.
Girl, my boyfriend's like a year point like 7 younger than me.
Let's just say that's what he said when he was in daycare. Okay, so I just want to say here also that the characters that I write, everything that I do is little portions of me or people that I know. Like, if you look, episode 5, I think it's 5 or 6, I think, of season 2. Moonpool, which is Dallas's series that never came out, is in the episode, and they're making fun of it. It's mainly a tease to Dallas, but Moonpool is an in-universe movie into Salem, kind of like how Halloween is into Scream. And then if you look in the recent episode, Truth or Dare, you can see a Morley Omnipotent poster in the background. If you go to... Yes, you fucking idiot. You were literally...
Yeah, never mind.
Oh, my God. And then, if you go all the way back to Roswell, the Valentine's dance, Kelin, me, and Mads can be seen in the background reacting to Leighton's outburst.
Yeah.
Yes, there's so many cameos in the backgrounds of like Sinverse episodes of us.
Can I just say that I've been working for the series for about 7 years now, and I have yet to have a single cameo.
Let me put this out there. Yaro doesn't have a cameo because he's too insecure to send me a picture of himself that isn't 3 years old.
I think that's
So that's why I
besides the
cameo
point.
his shitty series instead of himself.
Okay.
People are gonna think we are so mean when they watch this.
Good.
Trust me,
mean,
we've all been friends for years. It's like how brothers talk to each other.
Also, Kelin is also, I kind of forgot this is a way bigger cameo, but in the fair, Kelin in the in universe is a famous basketball player.
Oh,
Yeah, Keelan Davis.
I forgot about that. So the
I find
Kelin
that
Davis
cool, though, because,
shirt.
like, even though I didn't partake in any type of sport, it's fun to fantasize about you doing something different that you wouldn't do from the norm.
I'm trying to think. Oh, also in Something in the Water, me, Chris, Kelin, Dallas, and Mads can be seen in the water in the background.
A lot of us can be seen dancing in the Roswell Valentine's Day episode Dance.
I already said that. You can see quite a few of us in the fair, and not only in the fair, the episode, but also in the Coven Spell one. You can see me, Mads, Dallas, Chris, Kyle.
You can see my boyfriend dunking or like arguing with my ex.
Yeah, that was Oliver, if everybody remembers the name drop from that one episode. Um,
Oliver's the ex.
Also in the what's it called? Oh, in the Coven Spell episode, you can see Morley Omnipotent plushies.
Wait, really?
God, Yaro,
Girl.
you're insufferable. Yes, Yaro. There's like a Mo plushie and there's like a Cupid plushie.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right.
And the guy at the stand is wearing a Moonpool shirt. There's a Cass plushie.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also a Cass in the background you drew.
Yeah, that's true.
From Moonpool.
So there are things like that all over Salem. Not just cameos, but Desmond's room is based on mine and Dallas's room. Audrey's decor in her room is based on some of my stuff. She has the same necklaces and bracelets that I wear. She has a Sokka Funko Pop from Avatar.
Oh, she had
room.
Oh wait, didn't Jen have a Moonpool
Yeah,
Funko Pop?
Jen had a Moonpool Funko Pop and an Alien Funko Pop. In the Roswell Halloween from like forever ago.
There's probably so much more.
The Fear Street records can be seen on Desmond's wall. Desmond's whole room and like what he likes was all based in modern era. Because even though Salem takes place in 2033, he had a 2008 Dodge Caliber. He went to movie theaters, not movie theaters. He went to drive-ins. He had records. He had bird cages. All of the stuff that was in his room was based on more older kind of media.
He even had like old person glasses.
Yeah, he had older glasses. Look in the house. Not only is there a crow and a chameleon painting, every picture of the family that's in the house is in Bridget Bishop's apple orchard. You can see all of the clues in there. Like he says that here's one. When they're at the drive-in, the total for their food is $16.92, which is the year of the Salem witch trials.
I didn't know that.
Desmond also says that he feels like he's been coming to movie theaters or drive-ins for centuries, which is true. He says that he loves animals because he's a crow.
His mom says she feels like she's been cooking this for centuries or whatever.
Yeah, she says she feels like she's been cooking it for 3 centuries. When Jenny is flying up in the background, you can see that it's from the perspective of someone looking up in that one episode, Capture the Flag, when she's like, I feel like somebody's watching me. The crystal ball is the exact same hue as Desmond's glasses because he was the spy. Behind Desmond in Capture the Flag, there are towels folded, and they are the exact same colors as the crow. The crow's beak, eyes, and feathers. I'm trying to think what else. His license plate says bird OVO because it's supposed to look like a crow looking down. I'm trying to think any more. I already said he likes records and stuff because he's older themed.
Then you could talk about how Desmond was originally going to be a ghost.
Yeah, so Desmond at the very first rendition
in Thrift Shop.
In Thrift Shop, he was nothing more than a cameo of Davin. And Davin, back in the day, kind of used to be obsessed with making such little characters big things. And so he was like, oh, let him be Colin's boyfriend. Like, give him this, give him that. And I was like, that sounds really fucking stupid. Let's just make him a ghost. And so that's why he was so... What?
That's why his skin was so, like, grayish.
Yeah, that's why he was so purple and pale. And then I was like, you know what, Devin, never mind. I'm going to use your idea. So I brought in the idea, let's bring in this boyfriend and make Colin happy. And it'll be nice and cute. And then Devin came up with the idea. He was like, yo, what if we made Desmond the Crow as Bishop's familiar. And I was like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. And so then I came up with the idea that the two other familiars could be his fake parents. And if you look at them, they look just like the real versions, Samuel Paris and Mary Warren. And Mary slips up in the episode and calls him Samuel by accident instead of his real name or his fake name.
By accident.
Which you totally meant to do.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, pretty crazy. Desmond is such a big character now, and he's going to have so much more with season 3. He's actually probably my favorite character of Salem now.
He is also my favorite character, and I got to write an episode for season 3 called Birds of a Feather, and I won't spoil what it's about.
Two birds of a feather.
Oh yeah, Two Birds of a Feather, and Desmond is in it, and it's the first episode I've gotten to write by myself.
Yeah.
I helped out writing, like, now that the writing is so amazing, Derek sometimes, like, wants our ideas, and a lot of our, like, a lot of the Sinverse is a blend of our ideas, even if Derek is, the biggest majority of everything. Me and Yaro and Davin and our other friend Coco, even, we all, like, help put our little ideas into everything. And so I got to write, like, I got to rewrite a lot of the Coven spell. And then, of course, Derek revised it. And then I also got to write, like, the like, not the majority, but, like, the last half of the new Halloween episode coming up. And I also got to help rewrite the next Salem episode, but Derek's going to, like, rewrite it again after my rewrite. But yeah, it's funny because I started out as a fan, really, because, like, I was your friend, so how was I not going to be a fan of what you made? And I didn't draw very good because it's around when I started drawing, and I helped, like, I wanted, you were trying to come up with what to do after Salem, so I told you about the city of Chernobyl, and then that became the next series after Salem. Even though you came up with all the ideas in Chernobyl, I just thought it was a cool city, and you utilized it. And but now I'm a writer and I'm a storyboarder, even though I should probably do more boards. But yeah, me and Derek have had endless hours of talking, nights and nights, about ideas for the Sinverse that eventually became, Bermuda, Red Valley, Point Pleasant, Woodstock, Boggy Creek, and the back rooms.
I will also say that even Chris and Kelin, I don't know if you'll remember this, but
yeah,
I actually revamped an episode that you and Chris had all the way back in season 1, and I'm using it for season 3, called Madeline's School for Young Witches. And it was, do you remember, Kelin?
Yeah,
Chris
it's like
had the idea that the boys would go to a witch school and they would have to dress up or whatever. It's changed quite a bit, but now Audrey's going to a witch school. I don't want to give too much away. It's not like crazy shit, but Kelin and Chris both came up with that idea forever ago, and I didn't like it at first, but now I've revamped it, and it's going to be in season 3.
That's so cool.
Just like the episode that just happened, The Hanging of Bridget Bishop, that was originally season 1, episode 3, and I revamped it completely, and I wanted to use it for this season to show more empathy for Bishop's backstory. And
so such a good episode.
Yaro, he's quite interested in the Bishop lore, aren't you, Yaro?
You can say that.
Yaro, unfortunately, doesn't do too much in the writing room.
Oh, I was gonna say, should we bring up the writer's room, or should we leave that in the past?
Oh God,
the writer's room. Are you talking about the old writer's room that did nothing?
Yeah.
So I did used to have this writer's room, and it was like writers who would help me, but they didn't ever help me.
Yeah,
So
you still wrote every episode up until the Coven spell by yourself.
yeah, all of that was written by me. All of the ideas, for the most part, all the dialogue, which is probably why it was so shitty. But now it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
even by
decent.
yourself.
Uh, but the joke was that the writers didn't do jack shit, like at all. Like they would leave me on red. So the storyboarders, for some reason, they would like throw shade at the writers. So this one time, I combined the group chats, and they just had an all-out war, and it was really funny that just them seeing they insult each other. Um,
I'm
yeah,
sure
they
they had a
also.
lot of stress from your demands of making them draw the characters less fat and stuff.
It's not that
Oh
hard of
my
a thing.
god, that's
Also,
so
Keelan,
fucked up. No,
Keelan, Keelan designed quite a few of Audrey and Colin's outfits as well. I think, yeah, you designed Colin's fair outfit. Do you remember that, Keelan?
yeah.
But except yours had a bear on his sweatshirt. You
That's
remember
a
that?
good thing about it. Yeah, like you wanted him to be close to home, but he's traumatized, so you say fuck it.
Yeah. So, Keelan, what were your thoughts on the? Mainly, I'm asking you mainly because the rest of us already knew. But what
Mhm.
were your thoughts when it was like the Desmond reveal, which you already knew, but like just seeing it come to action and then seeing the animation? What were your thoughts on
Seeing,
that?
Oh yeah, the animation.
okay, yeah, I could say like that's really fun to speak on. First off, like seeing the development of that, like, and to see the final episode, like, I just wonder how many hours did you put into the final product?
Didn't I do the math,
Oh, we
Derek?
did the math.
Yeah.
I think it
Mhm.
was 98 hours or something.
Yeah,
Damn,
it was something like that. And I don't get math wrong.
but it's a really good episode though. Like,
And Derek
it's
had
one
the
of my
math
favorites.
because doesn't like Procreate or something tell you how long you've spent on a certain
Yeah,
drawing? Yeah,
yeah,
so
they
Mhm.
we
do.
did all the math. And Derek, in terms of Sinverse itself, Derek has spent probably thousands at this point, hours of like coming up with ideas, not just having conversation, but like sketching, drawing, concepting, writing, storyboarding, coloring, like lining. And it's turned out so well because of all the effort you put in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I used